Oh, that's because we weren't live. That whole 10 minutes.
We gonna do it again.
I'm glad it came on. Like it's on now. And there's Ja. Like I didn't hit the go live button.
Oh my goodness.
I still don't got it.
Good thing I saw him. He did a whole damn show.
No, Q showed me first, didn't you?
I was showing you the IG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Turn that down.
Oh, yeah.
All right, listen, we went through our whole weekend and how was the weekend, and welcome to the Union Society show. And we wasn't actually streaming just yet, but we're streaming now, and we're back, and we're going to start over. We got your homegirl, Hot Roz, in the building. What's up, Roz?
Hi, how are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, man, we would have been doing a lot better if the homie was here to operate the cameras like he's supposed to be, but something came up,
It's all right,
so I'm not
babe.
going to,
We
bash him for the first time. But we also have Lashia in the building. What's going on, Lashia?
What's up, y'all? What's up?
And we right back at it. We got Q Mo Fresh Flow in the building. Year and Ja the Rock.
Forever in the day, beyond all things, infinity for life. You know, that's what we.
I don't know what he just said, but Ja always say some fly shit. Ja always on some fly shit.
You heard?
You know what I'm saying? Though we were just talking about like the Olympics and somebody
Yes,
that you know her personally.
A thing moo.
A thing moo.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think I did see a story about her.
Yes, young 19-year-old
And she's from Trenton.
track phenom from Trenton, New Jersey, man. Bred from 5 years old up, man. Running that track, man. She doing amazing things. They haven't seen anything like
big shout out
She
to her
representing the
representing
area.
like
You
she's
already
close
know.
to home.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? Trenton,
Damn.
Philly,
What
the
up, though?
tri-state. You know what I'm
True,
saying? Like we
true.
definitely
Isn't
got to
that-
support that.
Isn't that funny
Yeah.
how we're not allowed to go over there and throw up any type of Black Lives Matter logos, anything shit like that, but we all represent. We're killing everything over there.
Right.
I mean,
we don't got
when it comes to athleticism,
It
Right.
is what it is.
it is what it is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's just how we cut.
and it's
You-
one
you
of those
dig?
things that speak without speaking.
Yeah, we don't.
exactly.
You don't
Yeah.
have to say it. Like
Yeah.
We gonna
If
show
you
it.
put it, I don't know if you can put us on ice skates, but
You
if
can.
we did,
We can.
already-
We have
we already
been.
have.
Remember
have.
to join
From
was
France.
the first one to do the backflip.
The young sister
On
from
skate.
Nigeria.
I'm talking about in the hockey ring too. Though.
Oh, we in hockey?
well, we created-
we
we
just
created
not
the
in there
slap shot.
heavy. You know
The
what
what?
I'm saying?
Slap shot?
Black history. Pardon me, my brother.
We created the slap shot.
We created what they call the slap shot in hockey. In ice
I mean,
hockey.
slap
As a matter
shot,
of
slap
fact-
box.
as a matter
Like,
of
it's
fact,
something that we do. That's what we do.
We created an advancement, an extreme advancement to the game, and it also came from indigenous people.
For sure.
What they call Black Indians that were up Nova Scotia, which is another story.
And
How-
skating on ice.
Yes, sir. We do everything well.
I mean, y'all, we don't really do the code too often, but I guess, if it's some type of sport, we'll get involved with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But how was you guys, like we're going to start this back over. How was you guys' weekend? Take turns.
You heard about me. I'm boring.
Yeah. Raj is going to be at work every weekend. But you had a pop-up shop though, right?
Pop-up shop was on Sunday. Shout out to Scandalous Vibe. That's my sister's company.
I like that name.
She
Scandalous Vibe.
Scandalous Vibe is SCANDLEOUS
Okay.
VIBE on IG. Also shout out to the Chosen Hands. Chosen spelled with a Z.
Not
She
the baby
makes-
arm, the chosen hand.
Jazz, when she came through, she had her homemade hair oil that she makes for beards, all hair and everything, the moisturize. We also had
Wait,
Ariel
you say
come through.
everything. I'm just, what?
Like beard, hair on your head.
Yeah, okay.
She's still
Promote
off that
growth
baby
and
oil.
moisturization and nurturing and all that stuff. And shout out to Ariel. She came through with the drinks. We had refreshments there.
So y'all
It
just
was
had it
awesome.
popping.
Yeah, it was popping. It was a popping pop-up shop.
A
Yeah.
poppin' pop-up shop.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Nice.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I mean, the weekend went so fast. I was on vacation during the week out in Rehoboth. It was an amazing experience, like jet skiing and car racing on the speedway tracks and
I got
parasailing
one
and
question for you. How can you ain't put that that lotion on that girl. Her face, she was burned. Krista, I saw her face. She was burned.
No, she didn't.
That sun hit her face. I was like, oh my gosh,
What are you talking about?
Sunscreen on her face. Her face was burned.
I have no idea what
Krista,
you were referring to.
Your girlfriend.
Why she would?
Anyway, back
So we was talking about the celebrity birthdays, right? What's up with the celebrity birthdays?
She don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Celebrities' birthdays.
Celebrity birthday.
Yeah.
Whose birthday just passed?
Yes.
Well, you know what?
Anniversary.
It is super hot out here. You know who cools it down? Ice Cube. He just said it.
Right, stuff like that.
We had Kendrick Lamar also celebrate his birthday. Venus Williams.
Royalties in my
Venus
DNA.
Williams is looking.
That
Woo!
looks amazing.
She looks amazing.
Yeah.
I
She
think
always
her.
did.
Did she just do some
Kendrick
type
Lamar-
of skin bleaching thing, or was that just
No!
what the hell was going on with
That was
that?
just bad makeup.
That was
just
bad
bad
makeup for
makeup.
Serena.
Okay, it was a bad makeup?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
bad
makeup.
makeup. Yeah.
That shit looked crazy.
Yeah,
She-
she
Yeah, but everybody thought that.
talking
Yeah,
about
I look
that.
like the Lion
You know,
King.
but some people had their bad days. I think, it was another picture that was taken the same day. It looked a little bit better than the
Nah,
one that she took right there.
that
lighting
makeup-
was
that
just
makeup
better.
That was
artist.
just
Yeah,
like
that
right
whoever
after that
she had
makeup.
to fire that makeup
artist
artist.
need to be beat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
Okay, so-
beat the hell out of her face.
I think
Like-
Kendrick
The whole
Lamar and
mouthful.
Venus Williams' birthday was the same day. All right.
All right.
Then Zoe Zaldana.
I don't know who that is.
She plays
Did she
know
play-
Marvel. You watch
Marvel?
No.
Avatar.
No.
She played
Avatar.
Avatar.
You see Avatar?
She played
Star Trek.
Gamora.
Oh, she played Gamora?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Zaldana.
You were just talking about Gamora a
Remember
couple weeks ago.
Colombiana?
Who?
Movie
Colombiana. That was a good
Yeah,
movie.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I liked
Yeah.
her in Colombiana too.
Yeah.
Word.
I know
Lionel
exactly
Richie.
who she is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now
The
you can
picture just
right?
popped in my
The other
head.
one, Bernie Mac.
Lionel
show.
Richie
Yeah.
celebrated
My
his
man.
birthday.
My
Lionel
Meryl
Richie
Streep.
old as fuck. Lionel Richie
Yeah.
was old when I was young.
Okay.
But one of the greatest ever, though.
Just
Yeah.
like Morgan
Yeah.
Freeman,
Yeah.
he never
I feel like he's
was
underrated,
female
honestly.
young.
Underrated.
He's underrated.
I feel like Lionel Richie is
I
underrated.
Absolutely.
I think presently in the
All
present
night
activity of
long.
marketing,
Of course you
he
think
is,
about
but
that.
All night.
when it comes to those who study the craft and the activity and art of music, and especially in America, you cannot excuse him from
Exclude him.
exclude him from the
Yeah.
last 40 years of what it is to get a foundation of a real career.
How many Lionel Richie songs can you just right off the top of your head?
Like
Hello.
Easy,
That video was crazy.
Easy
when I
like
watched it.
Sunday
Lionel Richie,
morning.
Easy Like
yeah,
Sunday
yeah,
Morning?
because that's the Commodores. He was lead singer.
Okay.
Commodores first, and
But
then
see,
he had
everybody
the
think
solo
about that song part of it.
career.
I want to be high, so
Yeah.
high.
I wanna be.
Oh,
I wonder
Easy
why
on
nobody
Sunday
would
morning.
make that part.
Right.
I wanna
Like-
be
like-
high.
You talking
So
about Endless
high.
Love, one of the greatest
Oh, you better
love
write that
songs
down
of all
for-
time.
Write it down.
talking
use it.
I don't want to be high. I don't even smoke weed. So
You talking about
You be high on life.
Yeah.
I am high on life.
greatest gospel songs of all time.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Loves. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yes.
like, we-
Yeah, I don't know that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, Dancing on the Ceiling was like one of
Yeah.
the greatest
Yeah, that's a good one.
pop.
Dancing on the Ceiling was
yeah,
a
one of the
big
greatest
joint.
pop songs of all time.
Yep.
Like, his catalog
And
is
of
crazy,
course
bro.
Zoom. You can't forget
Yeah,
that.
Zoom. Like, yeah, I said it
I don't know
earlier.
Zoom. How'd that go?
Yeah. Now I'm not Lionel Richie, so I'm not.
I
gonna sing
like to fly away.
I
it. You sound like Frank Sinatra over there.
But also we had Meryl Streep down. I put Meryl Streep down because that's like her acting is off the chart. She is an amazing actress.
She is in
Solange,
every category.
She is in every category.
Meryl Streep?
Oh my
Meryl
gosh.
Streep, yes, she do it all. Solange, Beyonce's little sister.
Her birthday just came up.
Yup.
How old is she?
Ariana Grande. I'm not even sure. I didn't even look at the
I
ages.
know the
just
same
knew
age
her.
as Beyonce. I know we heard the same age. I know
So
that
yeah,
first.
we got to be the
Solange
same
in her
age
late
as
30s.
Solange.
Easy.
Yeah, and then we have Ariana Grande. Her celebrated her birthday.
Her.
When I first
I know-
The singer her.
But that's not. That has to be like a synonymous name, right? That's not what her parents' birth name.
No,
is.
no.
So what's her
It's
birth
actually
name?
It's an acronym.
I know.
Yeah, it's accurate.
Yeah, but I mean,
When I
she
first
is
heard
who
I mean,
she
you heard of
is.
her? I'm like,
Hell of an artist.
her
man.
who? Her. I'm like, what about her?
She's an amazing artist.
Oh, man,
Like
amazing,
sometimes
bro.
I be
my
thinking
God,
like she's doing a duet on her songs.
Bro, she's an amazing
Yes.
artist. Bro.
Yeah.
She can play the guitar.
Her
like,
range,
she
her
bad.
scale, everything,
Oh my
strength
gosh.
of voice.
She's
Like, bro,
indescribable.
she's
I mean-
universal. She's Serious.
And then
she's-
one last birthday before we wrap this up. The lead actor in The Last Dragon, and y'all gonna help me with this name because
Timor?
No, Timok or whatever his name is.
from The Last Dragon.
It's
T-Mac, right?
Timok or
I forget.
It's spelled T-A-I-M-A-K. Yeah.
T-A-I.
T-Mac.
Timok, yeah.
T-A-I.
I seen
T-A-I-M-A-K.
him at one of those
Yeah.
cosplay
Black
joints,
martial
bro.
artist, and I
Just
I
call him
was-
Bruce Leroy. Bruce Leroy, yo. Bruce
Bruce
Leroy.
Leroy.
Let's
Oh
keep
yeah,
it
call him
simple.
Bruce Leroy
Bruce
from The
Leroy.
Last Dragon. He turned 57, y'all.
He's
He's
57.
57.
Wow.
We don't know it for nothing else.
Who is the master?
But Bruce
Show
Leroy.
enough. Show enough.
Well, no, I saw a picture of was it Dion Cole and another guy who could play his cat. They said do a reboot of the
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
Deion
he-
Cole does
Deion
look
Cole.
like
Like,
Sheldon.
yeah,
Up,
like,
yo.
Oh yeah, the
He
dude
would
that
be
did
doing-
show enough.
Yeah.
and then
Oh
the,
my
and then the
gosh.
boy who played in Tyler Perry's film, Death and a Funeral, whatever. The young boy whose wife was cheating with the other boy. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't remember that
I don't
one.
know that.
I think I know. who
It's
you're
some,
talking
it's a Tyler Perry film type thing.
Death
But
and a
anyway,
Funeral?
yeah.
Death
It
at a
wasn't no.
funeral.
Wait,
It wasn't
wait,
Tyler Perry.
no.
That was Chris Rock.
I'm talking
Wasn't
about
that
Chris
Chris
Rock
Rock?
and
It's another one.
Danny
It's
Glover.
another-
Oh,
it's
okay.
the,
Yeah, Chris Rock and Martin Lawrence,
It's
right?
another one with
No, Martin Lawrence wasn't in Death in the
It's a
Funeral.
Tyler Perry film.
I know
Where
Danny
basically,
Glover.
the mother, the father
Was
died,
his
whatever.
dad,
He's
right?
cheating on his mother, his wife, whatever.
I
type
don't
thing.
know, man.
Anyway,
But listen,
gotta pay homage to the 12-year anniversary of Michael Jackson's passing. I mean, it's all I can say.
12 years.
It don't seem like 12 years.
it felt
at
like it
all.
was yesterday.
But
I
should we
remember-
celebrate his birthday instead of
Yes,
his death
yes,
day?
Well, I mean, just
That's
remember.
weird to
I
me.
mean,
Yes,
That's
yes.
weird to
Either
me.
way,
His birthday's
How?
right around the corner, though. It's
Huh?
It's already-
How? Like,
I want to
August
celebrate the
29th,
murder
I think.
of
majority of the population in America is, I would say, Christian, right? Would you say? And they
I'd say
celebrate
Not no
birthday, Easter.
more.
Not no more.
Nah.
Well, a lot of America is Christian. They celebrate Easter and Christmas. Same thing.
When you celebrate, you know.
Well,
Not
I
really
would
the
say-
same
I would say
thing,
this.
but
I would
you know,
say this.
they are the two most popular people in the world.
A reason-
if
a
you're
reason
a dead
why-
person, then you celebrate what's dead. If you're alive, you celebrate what's living. So the reason we celebrate the anniversary of our birth is because it's one, a recorded increment of living, but it's also a celebration of being here for another interval of time. So rather than when you die, you celebrate.
I think it's more of an
the person.
appreciation when it's not a celebration of the death, but an appreciation of what they did
Their
during
life,
life.
their-
I would
Yeah.
say
But
this.
why would you associate what they did in living with what they are now present in death? You celebrate the life, which
Well,
is
Well, I think when you know that death is not an ending, is because nothing dies, only transcends or transmutates because energy can't be created or destroyed.
You notice how people say in transition. They don't say
Yeah, so it's a
death, they say
transition from
transitioning
one
now.
plane to
Well,
another.
well, no.
There's no
Hey
such
guys,
thing as
I would
dying.
say that
Hold
we
on.
didn't feel when he entered this earth, but we definitely felt
Felt
when he left.
That makes that I
Okay.
can agree with
and,
that.
And the reason we felt that he left because there was a physical death. There is a death. However, the physical death is what you felt mentally. Now you have the absence of that, so you can no longer produce the life that gave you an appreciation or recognition of
You still
what
can
now-
because of what he created.
No, that's my point, but he created it in life. He didn't create it in death.
So what did he create in life, y'all? What impact did he have on this music industry that we have on our
man,
lives?
astronomical. What,
Yeah.
what impact? I mean,
Yeah.
from every genre of music, he's in it.
And he owns
Like-
a lot of different rights. And
You know what's funny?
He's bigger
I
than
saw a video, and it was when they was doing the "We Are the World," and I think it was like Cyndi Lauper and 3 other singers.
That
And
one
like as
part
soon
that
as they started singing, Michael Jackson was like
what?
he was into his part. We are, and he bopping, and as soon as they started singing, he like all of
Were they little flat?
But if
they
we just believe,
yeah, just believe, and then we can love.
That was Bruce
Once
Springsteen.
again,
Was that
Yeah.
Bruce? No, I don't think that was
Yes,
Bruce.
it
Just
was.
believe.
Yes, it
Don't you think Michael was like, what the fuck?
That was Bruce
I think it
Springsteen.
pissed him off a little bit.
I thought it was Michael Bolton.
I think it was Michael.
No, that
Bolton.
was
Michael
Springsteen.
Bolton.
That was
It not Michael
Springsteen.
Bolton.
But
It
once
was Michael
again, though,
Bolton. Because you know Michael Bolton
co-writer,
would have had
Michael
that then.
Jackson,
And Lionel Richie.
on that record.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah.
what?
See, yeah.
But
Yeah.
the crazy thing was like
Mike
how
and
he
Lionel.
just stopped and like
Oh yeah,
he was into it.
right.
And as soon as he heard that belting of the lyrics, he was just like, yeah. And then he was just, I think he just wanted to walk off.
You got to
fuck out.
It
I quit.
was two
I
different
quit.
singing
I quit.
strengths.
Let me get out of here.
And Michael Bolton versus Bruce Springsteen, and Bruce Springsteen was trying to equate himself to the
To Michael
group,
Bolton.
to
I
the
don't
group.
think Michael Bolton was a popping at that time in the 80s. Michael Bolton's more like a 90s
No,
dude, right?
No.
I don't get me to lie.
No.
I remember,
Michael was not having that shit.
I remember Michael
trained
McDonald
these
from the 80s, but not Michael Bolton.
Where did who said that was singing?
Wasn't
I thought he was a 90s dude.
And he was Michael was a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like with his music, Michael was a
His
perfectionist.
performances, too.
His
He would
performances,
go all
his
hours of the
dancing.
night.
All right.
Like,
remember, it was like foreign.
the man was a machine.
So y'all, let's
Gotcha.
kind of ring it in. What was your favorite era of
Of Michael Jackson?
Let Roz go first.
Let the Rise go first.
Okay. So,
Well, she kind of got that Michael Jackson beginning nose. So I that's that beginning.
wow.
That's that off the wall nose.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and just put the damn thing over my damn face because apparently my nose is offensive.
How is your? What are you talking about?
Stop.
Hold on. Anyway, as I was saying before,
That's when he had a black nose. Mike changed his nose from a black nose to a white
What was
nose.
your
No,
favorite
I
era of
mean-
Michael Jackson?
my favorite era of Michael Jackson, I mean, it had to be, I don't know the era. I guess when he's like going into from being a teenager to an adult, that era right there, you know.
What was that?
What
I like
song?
What album was that?
Thriller.
Thriller.
Yes, Thriller is my favorite.
Okay.
And then, of course, the next one would be Bad.
Oh, you only get one. If
You ain't say all that. You
well, that's what we kind of leaning towards. You only get one. Everybody
you only
get one.
And it's hard to choose.
It is.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can
Album
play
or
a
era?
song. You can
Era.
play a song every day of the
It's
year
hard.
by
It's-
Michael
you
Jackson
can't.
and never repeat the same song twice. So my favorite era was the Dangerous era. With, do you remember the time when he turned to the sand? I'm sorry, that video was everything.
He killed that video.
Yo, and
Well,
who-
that
who
video,
was,
Thriller.
It was Magic Johnson was the king or something like that.
Eddie Murphy.
No, Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
and,
Eddie
and
Murphy was-
Iman.
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson was
like
one of the
the-
guards.
Like the
The
concierge
guard.
guard,
Yeah, guard.
type person.
Yeah.
You're right.
What was
And
the
that
other-
was close. That close. That was close too.
In-
Eddie
in
Murphy
real life.
and
Yeah, in real
His
Michael
videos
Jackson, yeah.
was awesome, though. He had some great videos.
So where you at with it, Q?
I gotta go with the Bad album, yo.
Who's bad? Who's bad?
And when I was in kindergarten, we sang "Man in the Mirror" is like one of our graduation songs.
Yeah.
So like that just touches me in a different way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, my thing was the
Wait,
man
you ain't cried,
introduced
did you?
a whole
I was
word.
singing the song. I was like,
to-
like,
like nobody has never said this word on earth before. Michael Jackson.
What?
Shimon.
Nobody.
Shimon.
That was,
Not
Shimon.
Not
I don't know what it means,
Shimon.
but you can use it for any. It's like John.
like, Shimon.
Shimon.
Yeah.
Like
He got
he
that-
introduced a
That's
whole
from James
word.
Brown,
Yeah,
right?
he got that from James Brown.
John,
Well,
what's
James
your,
Brown, you never know what the fuck he was saying anyway.
What,
Gonna get in hot dog out, hot dog out.
if you pay attention to James Brown,
I know.
James Brown's from the Geechee. So there was a different lingo in speech and what they called the Geechee, the Gullah, from the average black American, especially down south. So James Brown had a difference in his presentation compared to Flip Wilson and all those other contemporaries. Michael Jackson took those parts and
Yeah, and
combined
he
them.
and he made him his
And-
own though.
right,
like,
right.
And that's Tupac said the same thing. Like,
Right,
I might
right.
take a little piece from here, a little piece from here, a little piece from
That's
here.
what makes you
but
you.
and you Frankenstein that shit and you make it into
Your
you.
own creation.
And that's
Yeah.
what Michael Jackson did. Like, I watched James Brown and Flip Wilson. I seen a little bit of Flip Wilson in my time, but when I saw Michael Jackson, no matter what he took from wherever he took it from, all I saw was Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I never seen like
he's doing it
even
like
though I
this,
know
he's
he
doing
didn't
like
invent the
that.
moon slide. You know what I'm saying?
The
The
moonwalk.
moonwalk.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I know there was some, but he authenticated it to the point where it's
You
synonymous
associate
with his
the
name.
moonwalk with Michael
Moonwalk,
Jackson
right.
more than
Period.
Mike was a
Jeffrey.
perfectionist.
Moonwalk then.
So
I
being
didn't
a
know that.
Well, he-
The boy from Shalimar.
he- different,
Boogaloo
you
Watts. Like
Yeah.
like he was a perfectionist. So you might do something or create something,
But he gonna perfect that
but
shit.
right, Mike is going to make it look the way a human has done it in the best variant that you've ever created.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And-
I
right.
don't even know. I think he might have been from another planet. I'm not even sure that dude was
got-
from Earth,
you
man.
got
Well,
beat
Mike,
back home,
Mike,
huh?
Mike was. We speak in contemporary.
Because what happened to the other kids?
We-
like Janet was alright.
We're not. We're no.
The
they
rest
all-
of them-
Janet was great.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they all had.
They didn't have what Mike had.
No, they all had their own separate gifts, but certain gifts, we got to give credit to the father.
He was the
that
baby.
right? That was able to cultivate
Cultivate. Yes.
everything that he can pull out of his children. He recognized who
Just
had-
like Floyd
who had-
father.
right? Who had certain strengths and who didn't. Who had certain weaknesses in certain places where others had strengths.
And that's why the
Place
father
those
is
people
so
in-
important in the household,
The
man.
only
That's
other
right.
guy
Like
who created who
Joe
did anything
Jackson?
close to it, I mean, some of his own was Jermaine Jackson. Had a couple albums out.
They ain't come close to Michael Jackson.
Of course not. I'm not saying- I'm just saying-
And success.
Yeah.
And success. Like when we speak on eras, and when she said the word era, it's easier to judge an album
Right.
based upon your familiarity or like versus an era, because Michael Jackson
Transcended eras.
He's the personification of the word era.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Mike, there was an era, and that was his life.
Yeah.
So when we look at when I was a child, Mike had a cartoon now.
Yeah.
See, when I started learning what romance was or identifying it at the age of 10, Mike came out with the album Off the Wall. When I got ready to actually see what life was, or looking outside, being allowed to come off the porch, Mike came out with Thriller. See, so everything bad, Mike had what we were doing, which was breakdancing, all that culture.
Yes,
he was guiding.
he did.
Yo, that's crazy when you look at what he
When you look
did.
at what he's done, he's actually stepped and allowed each one of us. Our parents had an experience with Mike that we didn't have. They got
Right.
to see a 5 to 10-year-old singer that was singing a grown man's music written by Smokey Robinson to the world, sounding with perfect pitch, perfect tone, scaling every note. But he was only 6 and 7 years
Yep.
old.
But you know what I
Hey, yo.
gotta say though? I think I might have done that. Like I've created about 13 albums, and I think I might have done what he did on one album, and it was an album called "Where's the Check To?" Corner Boys versus the Cops, and I felt as though I captured Philadelphia's culture on that album
Right.
to a T. Like during that time, we was like the murder capital, and it was just like, and it's exactly what it was: Corner Boys versus the Cops.
You see what you just said right there?
What?
That's in related to what Kai said. Mike, when
He
Dangerous,
did that on every
Dangerous came
Yeah,
out, we were at a cultural conscious movement. See, and he gave us, remember the time, it was like a $500,000 video at the time, crazy money, because Thriller was the first time
Yeah.
we seen
a
a
movie.
black man put a video on MTV.
There was a movie.
See, at that time, I'm not sure if y'all are old enough to remember, we didn't have cable in every house.
No.
So on our block, it was like four of our homes had cable, and
we
everybody
was over at somebody else's house watching that.
Everybody was always at our house, or we was at somebody's house watching this video. This video came out. It was like a world premiere movie.
I gotta
And
tell
the world
y'all.
stopped.
My
went
uncle,
through-
hold on, my uncle, Aaron Sutton, right? And he's the reason why I went into being a street pharmacist. Like he was like, you know, the drop Mercedes Benz, the furs, bought his mom a house, like everything I wanted to be and do. And the first time I saw Thriller, niggas ain't had these, was on a fucking wall projector in the
Yeah.
80s in his condominium. And niggas ain't had no fucking wall projectors.
Real,
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at his crib in the condominium watching Thriller on the fucking like a movie screen on the fucking wall.
They were called Betamax.
I don't know what the fuck they was called.
Yeah. See, back then we didn't have like CDs and DVDs and micro discs.
Niggas ain't had that though. That's all I'm saying.
But Betamax was like the it was like a compacted VHS cassette. But you could buy them with all the recorded movies or videos or whatever you had on it. Like at that time, we didn't have black entertainers on MTV.
No.
See, so
I really don't remember that.
yeah. See, I know.
Yeah, he was the first.
Because Mike Video, it was 8:00 on I think it was Halloween or that Halloween weekend or something like. It was 8:00 at night. I'll never forget it. And everybody that I knew
Was watching that.
bro, like the whole, like I probably was no crime for like 2 hours.
Wow.
Mike literally
Like,
stopped
literally,
crime
it was like
for
no
2 hours.
crime and if you can go back to find that statistic in America for at least an hour or 2 hours, it was no crime.
Nobody was on the
because
streets.
everybody literally in our known world was watching the Thriller video.
I will say that Michael Jackson has had an impact on my music career. Actually, the very first song that I ever wrote was called "He's Gonna Get You." It was kind of like
He's Gonna Get You?
It was kind
I
of like
wanna
a
hear this
Thriller
record.
type. It wasn't
Who's gonna
recorded.
get you? That's what I want to know.
It was done when I was like 10 years old. I wrote it,
Do you
and
remember the first song you wrote?
I remember it because I
Sort of.
still remember.
You remember
I
the
still
first-
remember
I
like,
the first rap I wrote.
but
All right, we no, we about to go. Go ahead. First song you wrote, go.
the first song.
No. Sing that shit.
Oh,
Sang it.
deep in the darkness, crept through the night. He's gonna get you if you're in his sight. He's gonna get you if you are around. Next thing you know, you'll be in the ground. Oh, he's gonna get
All right,
you.
so who is he? Is what I'm concerned
It
about
was
now.
just, it was
a proverbial
because
he.
Okay.
I watched Thriller, the video, and I saw that, and it was like a Halloween type thing, and it could be Jason, it could be Michael Myers,
It could be anybody. They gonna
Chucky,
get.
it could be
Okay,
but
okay.
he's gonna
I
get
get you now.
You know what I'm saying?
She was
Cute.
But
funny.
yeah.
First,
My
go.
first rap.
First rap.
It's dark in space all over the place. It's got lots of stars and planets like Mars. There is no matter and there is no air. There isn't any friction anywhere. It was like third grade. We rapping about astronomy and stuff.
It was the first time I started write, like just making written rhymes. You feel me? But it definitely wasn't from like the third grade.
Yeah, mine wasn't from the third grade either.
Yesterday you was ahead, but now today you behind. You must have lost track of time or I got into your mind. When you stepped in my arena, you stepped out of bounds. I'm the coaching you to play, man. Sit that ass down. Now you're getting no more minutes in this hip-hop game. I took your number and your name, plus it shaded your fame. You think you want to test me? Well, you won't be the first. But you better come equipped with your doctor and your nurse. Make shit worse. I made you with a curse. I'm like, body in church, we throw shit on your hearse. How do you do that?
All right.
The only reason that I remember the first rhyme that I wrote is because my first album, which was called A Dollar in a Dream, the beginning of the album, I personified a dollar as if it was a person. And the last thing was the first one I wrote was the dream. So it was A Dollar and a Dream was the name of the album. And it was I was on my way home, tried to catch the L. These sucker MCs tried to snatch my Zels. I said, yo, Holmes, what's up with that? I pulled out my 40 and he gave him right back. I reached in my pocket, tried to tell the time. Then he asked me to say my MC rhyme. So I said the rhyme I'm about to say. The rhyme was vicious and it went this way. I fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Your mom with gazelles, you still can't see.
Yeah.
Wow, you do spoken word, right?
She does. She does
You know
poetry.
poetry. Do you remember your first poem you ever wrote?
Yeah, it was my grandmother. She passed away.
Oh.
It was like my grandmother passed away. The sky is gray every day. The stars and moon don't shine. The grass turns brown. We all get the frown. His grandmother passed away.
Wow.
It was like
Wow.
that's wrote that in 6th grade.
I was about to say, how old were you?
It was 6th grade.
Wow.
I've been writing ever since then. But
Yep.
That's dope.
See? And then we see how much we've grown as artists and
All right, so now we're going to do a piece from now, and we're going to start with Rise since we ended with Rise.
Wait, can we save that for next week? We gotta give people a chance to come back.
Okay, all right.
We
You
got
know what?
another
You're right.
topic tonight that I really want to touch on tonight. But before we get into that, let's talk about the Philly Jam Festival real quick.
The Philly Jam Festival. this is what's crazy. Over the week when I was on vacation, I binge watched this TV show on Netflix called Manifest.
Oh, with the plane, right?
The plane.
Yes. Yes.
And these people were gone for 5 years. They took a trip to Jamaica, took an alternate flight back, and the flight was gone for 5 years, and then it just appeared and was looking for somewhere to land. Now, the flight number was 828.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
That's something.
Not only was the flight number 828, and this thing is called Manifest, like I told y'all, the last time my mother...
Break it down, 828 means. I don't think everybody realizes.
828 is an angel number, right?
Okay.
And 8 appearing twice in the number gives the... if you look up the angel number 828, it'll tell you that the number 8 is more influential over the angel number, and it just talks about, you know, abundance and prosperity and joy and a lot of good things, manifesting abundance, and the number 8 is in there twice, so it's double that influence.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So the show is on 828. It's on August the 28th.
Wow.
By no coincidence, the last one that was thrown was on August the 28th of 2008. So,
oh, wow.
you see what I'm saying?
Years ago.
Yes.
Wow.
13 years ago. And the crazy thing is, it's just like, I'm not planning this. It was no plan for me to be like, oh, let's do a Philly Jam. It has to be August the 28th.
Right.
That's just how the universe ordained it. I had nothing to do with it at all. You understand what I'm saying? And the last one that I did in 2008 was the one that my mother was at, where like I got to see the joy and the pride that was on her face as I performed, and knowing that, you know, her son had a huge influence in bringing all these people together, and it was just like, that's why I binge watched this show. You know what I'm saying? Over the week.
So Philly Jam Festival, pretty much, guys, is a festival where it's going to be a bunch of dynamic artists, underground artists, independent artists,
interdependent artists,
and
artists, you know, you only I feel as though
showcase.
saying underground, like, that depends on whether or not what you're willing to listen to. If you're willing to be programmed by what's coming over the airwaves, I guess that would be mainstream. But if you're always searching for new artists and you want to hear something new, and you're not just being trained to dislike something because you haven't heard it, then this is definitely something that you want to be involved with and come out and find some new music and new artists to actually follow.
So to sum it up, it's going to be performances, it's going to be a panel, and we going to party. Pretty much.
Bam.
Performances,
Philly
panel,
Jam
party.
Festival.
P, triple P.
No, not the PPP loan.
Not the PPP loan. Nobody. But yeah, make sure y'all follow the Union 215 page on Instagram, and you'll get more information on that. Actually, QMO is actually one of the performers that's going to be on the Philly Jam stage. So make sure y'all check him out, see what he has to offer on his page. But we're going to get into the topic that we've been waiting for. We told you guys for the last 2 weeks, because we was off last week. We're on now, and the topic is raised on love versus raised on survival.
Yes, sir.
So I kind of gave a explanation to Lashia earlier in regards to what it meant to me. Like, I fancy myself as being raised on survival. Right. And I take a look at my children, and I don't see the resilience that I got from being raised on survival, because they were raised on love. Whereas though, you know, they didn't really have a struggle. They might have had somewhat of a struggle, but it wasn't because their parents were drug addicts or couldn't afford somewhere for them to live and something like that.
Right.
So it wasn't a hardship like I came up in.
Right.
Right. So in my opinion, they were definitely raised in love. But to me, both of the scenarios would be lacking. Like, because being raised on survival, you may be lacking in the emotional maturity of discernment. Right. Yep. And being able to differentiate different emotions, because the one emotion that you had to use constantly was anger.
Anger. Yep.
right? So, and then being raised on love is just like, to me, it's like looking at a rainbow. You just this ray of emotions and a little, probably a little bit more emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when shit goes south,
Yeah.
where you going to stand?
It's like the whole world just falls apart.
Yeah, the whole world falls apart. And that's something that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, you know, for one, my father was a Vietnam vet. And the way that he explained it to me, if you're in the war and your friend gets his head blown off right next to you, you could sit there and cry about it and be the next to get your head blown off or keep the fuck moving.
And that's true.
And that's how
And, I mean,
So
that's how I came
Rise,
up.
do you think you were raised on survival or raised on love?
I think raised on love with survival skills, so to speak. I mean, because I think it's a combination of two. I mean, yeah, emotionally intelligent, I do have that. I notice I do have those instincts. But when it comes to survival, if I need to survive by myself and be independent of things as far as taking care of myself, my health, finances, whatever, I'm not depending on anybody to do that for me. You know what I mean? I was raised to be self-sufficient. Not to say I don't need anybody. I'm just saying that in a situation where I'm not with somebody, my whole world's not gonna fall apart emotionally, financially, all that shit, you know. So, I mean, a lot of people I think are raised on saying, okay, if you wake up, you grow up, be a lady, get married. Understand it's just scenarios in the society is protect out for a lot of women out there. Get married, get a good man, take care of you and your family, versus saying, hey, you know, grow up, nice lady, whatever, and then go ahead and find yourself a nice gentleman, but also be able to work together as a team and not just rely on somebody to take care of everything for you. So that's what I was raised up. I think it's I would say nurturing and loving part of somebody else to give you that kind of skill to do both, not just to be one or the other.
Absolutely. I would say that I'm right there with her. I grew up in a household. Both my parents are still together. It's going on 36 years this year. And we definitely have been at points where we did have to learn how to be resourceful, because there were times when we didn't have heat. It was times when, you know, we didn't have water or something like that. And it was all like a growing, and in my parents growing, they was teaching us, like, listen, this is what you would do in case this happens. It wasn't like they fell apart. My mom and dad are very strong people. So it wasn't like, oh, we just go on, just tuck ourselves in a ball and cry in a corner. They was like, this is what needs to happen, then we move on. And my dad is definitely not the type to sit up there and ball in the corner. He gonna be like, okay, what's the problem? All right, how we gonna solve it? And I think a lot of that I got
Check
from
out
my
the
parents.
mix for the DJ Revolve.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I got a lot of that. I got a lot of that from
I don't know
my
where it
parents.
came from.
I
Go
got
ahead.
a lot of that from my parents. Like, I when I hear people complain about something, I'm sitting up there like, but what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna just sit up here and complain about it, or are you gonna actually put, you know, words to action and get things done? Like, you can't keep crying over spilled milk. You know, you need
Tough
to
titty,
just
sour milk.
Exactly. You know, tough titty said the kitty, but the milk's still good. I like that. But
Tough titty, sour milk, but somebody got to suck it.
right. but you know what? I'm so done with you, Black. But anyway, but yeah, I would say I was raised on love, but with survival techniques. So I'm the same like Rise. I can survive on my own, but I don't necessarily want to
I
be.
think you guys might be getting the wrong idea, though. Being raised on survival doesn't necessarily mean, you know, that you're able to survive on your. I think anybody would be able to survive on
it's
their
not being
own.
wrong. I think it's just we have a different perspective.
That's what I'm saying.
Of the
Right.
topic
Of what
It's
it is.
not,
Right.
Like
That's
if you're-
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, if you have a certain view of it, we have different views of it.
But
You
I
know,
was-
but I get
Right.
what you're
I
saying.
think,
Yeah, but-
um,
go ahead.
I think what Montana is saying is this. Our experiences are definitely different, which is
Right.
why we have the topic of subject in discussion. Our upbringing differentiates how we see the topic itself.
Right.
Exactly.
So, raised on love, raised on survival. I'm one that was raised on survival. Now, there was love inserted into the foundation of my survival.
Right.
However, you know, father killed when I'm 4, taken away from mother when you're 5.
That's raised on survival.
Being raised
So,
by.
not to cut you off,
Part-
but what y'all able to do now is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you were in these situations as a child, and there is no parental guidance, no one to tell you this is the way to go, this is the way to go, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
you said,
that's being raised on
like-
survival. But when you have somebody that's
That made
we're
the
going to figure it out.
sacrifice.
Right.
Right.
That's being raised on love.
Nah, I mean,
Like where
I
you
get
barely would even know something was wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's also like you said, we don't have the experience to speak on that. So to us, a survival or something that may have happened traumatic to us, maybe like nothing for y'all. 'Cause y'all didn't have what we-
Well, see, that's the point. Being
Right.
reared in love, meaning that someone suffered and sacrificed already,
Right.
and was successful in their suffrage to create a foundation that
Of
was
love.
stable enough
Right.
of love for you to be able to have that experience coming up, while others have come from a situation
There is no
where
foundation.
the foundation was fragmented. For whatever
Right.
reason, the foundation was fragmented, and because it was fragmented, you grew up
Having
in
to
a
put it together.
rocky situation trying to
I
balance
get what you're
life
saying,
Okay.
yeah.
at an early age, which
Right.
tempered you to be
So
different.
basically, raising yourself.
Yeah.
Well, you raised yourself, but not necessarily. We all have
A tribe or a
Right,
village
right, we all
that
have
kind of
someone-
contributed.
I think
Someone
the
helping.
village has died off a little bit. You know, that village
For sure,
mentality.
for sure,
Oh my God.
absolutely.
Yes.
Because it's
Now
like,
it's kind of everybody for their fucking selves.
Yes.
yeah.
Well, what happened is that the village mentality died off because we left the village and went back to the plantation. See, now
Ouch.
yeah, that's the sorrowful truth. Like the things that I did in order to create my result. My brother was raised in the same home I was raised in. He went on to go to college and become successful in law, and now he's a bishop and all of that stuff. I chose to deviate at a certain point from the foundation I had because I was already fragmented, and I was looking for balance, and I couldn't get balance in the environment that I was in because it was so fragmented. That tempered me for a different mentality, physicality for survival, and I went
Right.
into the world at 13 years old, where the average person, you home, you're probably still playing with toys or expecting
Exactly.
Christmas at 13.
And I think that's the problem we have right now with a lot of like we said, there's not much of a village now, but there's kids out here just running the streets all hours of the night. The parents, what are y'all doing? Y'all just letting them run all over the place. I know that back in my dad, my mom said there was none of that back in the day.
Because
you wasn't
you had
running the
parents.
streets
No.
late at night. You was in the
Then you
house.
had neighbors.
In
like,
all
yo, I saw
actuality-
And you
you
had
around the
neighbors
corner.
that would
That's
say,
Get
who
your ass
I
home.
make
No, no.
music for.
Not just
I make
neighbors.
music for those kids specifically, right? And because I know what they're thinking, what they're going through. Like, I grew up trying to figure out, just for example, I can vividly recall being 11 maybe and going to the bar to get my mom because she's in the bar, and before I get to the bar, ATF jumps out and put M16s in my face at 11 years old. Right? Before I can even get to the bar, you got any drugs? You got any guns? You got any paraphernalia? I'm like, I don't know the fuck you talking about. I got an M16 in my fucking face on the corner of Percy and Clearfield going into the Badlands bar to get my mother because my brothers and sisters are hungry.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? And we got to figure out, like, what we're going to cook for dinner.
And there was no cell phones back then.
There were no cell phones.
no.
I had to
So,
go down
like,
to the bar.
Yep.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
You had to go yourself.
And I had to go myself.
That attests to the foundation. I was just speaking earlier, the importance of balance. Survival and love go hand in hand when it
Right.
comes to rearing a child, because you rear a child with first love, but you are responsible for their survival.
Exactly.
And I heard the worst advice come from a person of great influence. Steve Harvey said, well, anybody can be a father, but we need more daddies out here, man. And that speech last week was so damaging to the black community and the psyche of the black community, because we need more fathers. Father is the job.
Right.
Daddy is a title, a term of endearment given. So you have women that call their man daddy.
I'm trying. Who the hell started
It's
that
actually
anyway?
Zaddy.
Well, it became zaddy, but it started off as daddy.
But you're
Right.
using this term of endearment, and anybody can be a daddy.
Anybody.
But a father is he.
You could
who
be a daddy to somebody else's
furthers-
kids.
Yeah.
He who furthers the child. So that's the one that actually raises the child. And when you
I
have
have a
that-
problem with that word too. With raising.
Well, when we say raise, we mean to rear, or we mean to guide, or we mean to develop, to
Right,
evolve.
but the thing about, like, you can raise cattle, right?
You
so I think we need to really
you can raise cattle, but that's only speaking synonymously to the act of parenthood, because the cattle activity of cattle is
Right.
breeding, and the activity of
right. So,
reproduction.
but when you
is
say
breeding.
raise, right? When you say
Right.
raise, that means that you may have an expectation of what you have projected onto this child, and this is an individual. So I can tell my child what I think or give them my opinion, but at the end of the day, and they're an individual, they are going to have to make their own choices.
But I don't give
Like,
my
before
I don't
you-
give my child opinions. I give my child facts based on experience, education, and love.
But that don't mean it's still going to be the same once they experience it.
No. What I'm saying is this: we raise our children to be prepared to do a certain thing, which is to follow the example that we've given. Without that, we have anarchy.
Yeah, but life is not linear.
Well, hold on. Without that, we have anarchy and savagery in our society.
Not
which we have
necessarily.
now. Well, I'll explain. We've had 40 years without the black male, the father.
So we know what the adverse effect of not being near is.
No, watch this. I'm going to show you, though. Remember I told you, we had parents. When you have that balance, you have success in what we're saying, recognizing love by being reared in love. However, we went from the village back to the plantation. Now for the
Yeah,
last
elaborate on that.
Right, for the last 40 years, we have not had the black male or the father as an example in the family. Hence, we are like, why have things changed? We have a society that have children that are running rampant in a savage, murderous state. They didn't learn that from us. That's why we keep saying, where they get it from?
Well, we
Why
know
they
where it's
doing
coming
it?
from, the indoctrination of what they so-called education that you're getting from somebody that's not even aware of your conditions.
How did that happen on our watch when we were raised with what?
Because we were raised off survival, but at the same time, if you're women who are very material and they can get a house as long as you're not living in it, so they got to get rid of you in order to get this house, what are they going to choose?
Who gave them that, though? Massa. See,
I'm not going to go far to say as master, but the government has been set up
That's
to
what
where
master
as though
is.
knowing that
That's what Massa is.
Yeah.
I ain't my master, like I don't bow down to nothing.
Hold on. We don't have a black face on the dollar bill.
What that mean?
The currency is an example of your authority. So whatever country you in, let's say we go to Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwean presidents or his heritage and descendants.
I don't
hold on.
subscribe to that because
I'm
the
not saying what
currency.
you subscribe to. I'm saying what reality is.
So you're saying the reality is that whoever faces on the money
the currency of
is on the
whatever
currency.
sovereign nation
Uh-huh.
is the authority of said nation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying
Yeah.
what reality is. I'm just saying what reality is.
Yeah, but everybody's
what's
that
your
how
viewpoint?
And money makes the world
they're
go
all
what?
dead.
Round.
Go.
Everybody that's on that money
Cream,
is dead.
cash rules what? Everything around
But think
it.
about
But
that.
they're-
In some countries,
they're
the
dead,
people that's
but
on the
they're-
money are still alive, right?
But they're
no,
symbols
no,
of the.
no.
They're still
They're
symbols of the establishment.
of the
They are a
Said
the thought
establishment.
process.
I'll show you something. Coming to America.
That comes
too.
from the establishment.
Zamunda.
Right.
Yeah.
See what Zamunda did in both movies?
He got his money on money.
What did John Amos say in the first one? He said, "Baby, you hit the what? Jackpot. He's got his what?
His own money.
See, in the part two, when his son was reluctant, first of all, but when he seen that gold bar and said, "Hey,
And then
he's
he
has
turned
his
it to
own
put his profile like
money." And then the same profile was also shown
message.
when he learned, right? When he learned learned his ancestry. See, King Jaffa, King Jah. See, he starts showing him. Look, all of these
So
faces.
think about this for a second, because
are the
it's not
faces
like
of-
we're not on the money. That first government seal that's on the dollar bill, which is the only bill that has not changed, right?
No, dollar bill has changed now.
Yeah, from what it was to the
Yes.
treaty that's
Right.
now on the
Right.
dollar bill.
Right.
The treaty that's on the dollar bill,
has
it hasn't changed since then. The treaty between the first government that was already established and the second government,
Well,
which is the American
I
government.
have a dollar bill that changed in 1932. So as a matter of fact, have $3 bills from 3 different eras. So the dollar bill has changed. The paper
Not
has
since the
changed.
treaty.
I like this topic, y'all. I think we should really touch on it next week.
We gotta get
Because we gotta get Q's. You gotta get Q's
ain't
because
had
Q's
chance to
been
say
up here
nothing.
quiet, and we want to know: were you raised on survival or raised on love?
Survival.
I think I was raised on love with survival skills, kind of like Rod's situation. And
Okay.
what
You
I
had
mean,
balance.
yeah, I definitely had balance, because to his point, to Josh's point, my dad was the one that was raised on survival. He's a product of a broken home, foster kid. You know what I'm saying, dealt with like trauma and abuse and so on and so forth. So it was like his mission to make sure that I didn't have to experience none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing for my son.
And then like
Right.
I think the survival skills aspect of it is more so just the idea of, one, being resourceful, kind of like the ladies had shared. Then the other side of it is like the activism too. Now, I think that you can't really get more survival skills than an activist, kind of like the Shabazz or the Kings or the Medgar Evers family, things of that nature. So I don't think we were that deep involved in the struggle from that standpoint. But as far as just our
You mean from a black?
Yeah, can I interject on
Yeah.
that example?
Yeah.
Because you said Martin and Malcolm.
Mhm.
That's a perfect example of what we're discussing. Martin came from a balanced family that was structured in love,
Mhm.
so he was of a different temperament. Like Martin used to be in non-violent exercises as
Right.
an activist.
Right.
However, Malcolm came up similar to myself. Fragmented beginning in a home.
What was it named? Reds?
This
A pimp named Reds?
dysfunctional. He was in foster care, foster homes, then he went to prison, and then he evolved into the man that he became after receiving certain tutelage.
Right.
So he was tempered differently. Like Black and myself are like we're cool if you drop us off in
Anywhere.
North Philly.
right.
Like we ain't got
You can
no
drop me
problem
anywhere off in the
putting
planet.
me on Walnut Street or let me be on the boulevard in Trenton.
You
I ain't
make
got
it
no
happen.
problem being in Flatbush or Fort Greene in Brooklyn. See, because of my temperament. Now, my temperament allowed me to be a certain way rather than I would be tested a little bit differently and quicker.
Like, did you see that video that Drake shot in Marcy? He looked shook daddy.
You know why he looks shook? Because he's not from that temperament.
Like I think he was
See?
doing a video in Marcy
So we
Project.
would stand out like sore thumbs and certain
Right,
Yeah.
right. We would
And you-
see,
and
we would
people
see
gonna be
you
able to
coming.
tell.
I
We would see
stand
you
out my
coming.
own.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
Now-
whole point. I grew up in West Oak Lane, and I go back there now. I'm from here.
But it doesn't
No,
mean it doesn't
you're
mean
gonna
that
stand out, though.
It
Right.
doesn't mean that you won't pass the test.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's not in you
Right.
to pass the test because your parents, if they struggled from that beginning,
Right.
then naturally it's in you. The
Right.
last thing I physically seen my father do was murder a man. So my upbringing from 4 years old, having that last picture in your brain, growing up as an example, those type things were easy for me to begin to conceive once I got into my teenage years.
Right.
See,
That's crazy
combat
because
and
it's the
fight.
same thing. Like hearing my father's stories and telling me, he killed over 100 men
Men.
before he stopped counting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just
Yeah.
like hearing that.
And you're young.
Yeah, and
in
it's
your
like,
brain,
He's
in your
an
brain,
infantry.
that's okay.
That's
Yeah.
one of the
The infantry?
solutions to conflict.
I
Vietnam.
think we should
Infantry,
round
yeah.
this out
Yeah.
because
Had
this
a-
was
he
an
had-
awesome. This was an awesome topic, and I think that we should also touch on how those two upbringings have an effect on hip hop.
Dude, you gotta
and I think that's another topic we should.
you gotta
we should-
Drake and you gotta push your T.
Yeah, hip hop doesn't. once again, hip hop. They took the black father out of hip hop.
Right.
See, that's how they control hip hop, which is why our youth are running rampant off code. They don't have a standard. They don't have a rule book.
Yo,
and
fucking
they're functioning-
Styles P.
Yes.
Yes. You sent it to
I
me,
sent
didn't you?
it to you today.
Oh, did he kill it?
That's good. That's
Yo,
love.
he was letting these
Love.
niggas know, like, y'all calling civilians snitches.
I told you, no one understands what the code of the rule book of the
Like, if
gang
you're
and
not-
clan is.
And like he said, he's inactive. I have been inactive for 13 years. And I still don't call the police. Like,
No, because you can easily put a hyphen in that inactive. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can easily be inactive.
I can then be active.
Yeah, I can be active.
But no, I'm not. I'm
in
not.
there.
I'm not an active criminal. I don't live a criminal life,
nah.
right? So I have a driver's license.
You've risen
insurance.
above that level.
Yeah, like I did all of that. If robbery's a class, then I passed it. You know what I'm saying? You say I did all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with it, and I no longer am active in that lifestyle. And if a crime is being committed towards me, I do have the ability to call the police. But it's something in me that just sometimes it's just difficult to do. First of all, I believe that men should police their own situations.
Plus, you have a sixth sense, though. See, you have a sense that others may not have, and that sixth sense comes from that temperament. Not only can you defend yourself, but that temperament allows you to have a certain aura that lets another know that intend to do it, that you are not the one that are going to be a real challenge. Secondly, you can detect when another person is thinking it before they act upon it.
Facts.
Because you're from that environment,
right?
Which is what
just from the way you stand,
right?
or if you stand up before I stand up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all.
There's a certain posture that comes with survival, and people know when they can try you when they can't.
Just like when you go into a board meeting.
Yeah, same thing.
You already know. See, now all of a sudden you become perpendicular. You make sure there's no slouch in your stance because there's a certain presentation that you have to give to this environment to get a certain reception from the people in that environment. And it's everywhere you go. If you can walk the walk and talk the talk.
But even still, it's still some fucking, I'm going to say idiots, right? And they might not even come from that temperament, but they want to attempt to get a stripe on their jacket when they know their jacket is not built like that.
And what the Bible tells us, and that servant that knew his Lord's will, but prepared himself not,
and
shall be beaten
it's crazy that you would. It's crazy that you would say that because the way that I'm set up, like I'm going to let you do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you be that fool until it's time to beat shit down your leg.
The way you started is the way I'm going to end it.
Exactly.
See? So
because I'm not going to ask you for it. I'm not going to ask you for it, but I'm going to let you continue down the path until you get to what you're looking for.
And you know what I'm looking for? You know what I'm looking forward to?
The next show?
Philly Jam. Philly Jam Festival. It's August 28th.
8/28.
August 28th. Like we said, it's going to be performances.
We're going to have a panel. There's going to be vending. There's going to be a huge party. Listen, get with us immediately. We still have a few performance slots available. Not a lot of them. I'm telling you now. So you need to get with us as soon as possible.
Less than 10?
Way less than 10.
5?
Less than that.
You heard it right. Less
you know what I'm
than
saying?
5.
So you got to get with us through Union 215 on the Union 215 Instagram. The vending spots are still available. August is coming up on us quick. Also, my birthday, July the 8th, which is cancer season is now upon us.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew,
Q is
pew,
also
pew.
a fellow Cancerian.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But on my birthday, The Impossible Dream is dropping July the 8th, 2021. I've been working on this project for I don't know how long. I done put it on the back burner quite a few times to go work on music in Miami, to do a collaboration with an artist in Canada. We put it on the back burner to finish the Cartel 9 State of the Union project. But now, The Impossible Dream is on the way. July the 8th.
It's baked
Yeah.
ready to go.
Awesome.
So if y'all want to do anything for me for my birthday, that's what you do.
Yeah, make sure y'all
That
pre-save
joint.
that joint, y'all.
That's right.
And there's another thing. Q has what is your project called?
Oh yeah, the Q. I got the QC joint with Crook Tooth from Hip Hop Prodigies and the Hood Superhero. That's
Volume
gonna be
3,
August.
right?
Yeah, Volume 3. That'll be
Right.
August though.
So y'all want to?
So that's perfect.
Go on
Like during the Philly
Spotify,
Jam concert
you know.
and Q's project.
Oh, yeah,
is
I
dropping.
try to roll out strategically. You know what I'm saying?
For
Yeah.
sure.
And he's gonna be performing. Yup. And Roz, we got anything coming up with you? You going on vacation, right?
Yeah.
Where you on?
Kissimmee, Florida.
Kissimmee?
Send me for-
Yeah. Not kissing me.
No,
Kissimmee.
send me.
Yosemite?
No. Yeah, me and my cousins, we rented this huge 12-bedroom house.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be rolling up. We're gonna be cooking and eating, beaching and everything else down there with my family.
Oh, you pulling the Kelly?
I'm sorry, what?
You pulling the Kelly?
What is that?
She just did that. She just rented her and her friends, the Travel Sisters.
Oh, yeah. This is with family that people I actually know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's gonna be cool though because like we all cook, guys included. We cook, bake, so I might come back, 25 pounds heavier than you see right now, but it's all good.
I don't know if that's gonna be a good look for you. She said 25 pounds, bro.
What you talking about?
I feel like I'm about to get in my Kevin Samuels bag.
Oh,
Don't name drop him. We got to bleep it out of this whole.
No, I fucks with Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels. Listen, he might be gay, and I really don't care about that because can't no
Man, that's the
man.
story now?
No, bro.
Why are they always doing that?
I'm gonna tell you why. And I might subscribe to that idea too because I've had plenty of arguments with women, and as soon as they stop applying logic and reason, there's no way I'm gonna win. You cannot win an argument with somebody that is not going to apply logic and reason, and this man does it. And I've never seen a man win an argument with a woman who's not applying logic and reason.
If you talk in circles, the argument's over. Ain't no argument no more. I
do
shut
it all
Right.
the time.
You win those arguments?
Yeah, I do it all the time, and it's up to how long.
Yo, my brain, I can't sit there and
I don't argue.
Yeah.
One thing
I don't
about this,
argue.
it's not right, and you have to choose what's going to be heard and what's going to be listened to. You can rebut effectively and logically to what's been listened to. You can only rebut emotionally what's being heard.
Bro, after
So
they
you
start
choose-
talking in
it's a skill.
circles, it sounds like the teacher on the Charlie's Brown episode.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
And guess what? Yeah, there's a
So
key
we
to that
got-
though.
we
When
gotta
people
talk about
begin
that next
speaking
week.
like
I mean, that's a good
that, and the
topic,
tool
too.
that he often uses,
Do you argue or not to
put
argue?
it on them. See, explain
Is
what
it
you
worth
mean.
your time and your breath?
See, because if you can't explain what you mean, and you don't even know what you mean, that means
Right, but
that
women
means-
don't care that they don't know what they're talking
You
about.
know why
I
they
like
don't know
how
what
they
they're
talk
talking
about.
about?
Not in the room.
Because
I'm
there's
saying,
this
I
thing.
mean, I know we're.
I'm sorry, not all women, but when you don't care that you
Right.
don't know what you're talking about,
when you don't
and you
care-
still arguing the
when-
point
when you
that's
don't-
already mute.
You know why you don't care? Because you don't respect the authority of the person that's giving you what's right or correcting you. See, when you're in another environment,
Yeah, and I'm going to battle out the argument.
when she's in another environment, there's no emotional reaction because she already submitted to the authority of those in that environment. But when she's talking to you, she's never submitted to the authority of you being right.
Okay.
So there's always an argument beyond her being wrong. Meaning
Listen,
that
I was just in a
I will allow
whole
her to
clubhouse
have that
group.
thought by herself.
you hear the
I was
guys
just in a
now-
whole clubhouse group where the entire discussion was why don't women listen to men? It was predominantly black women and black men discussing this topic, and pretty much the gist of it was kind of piggyback off of what he said. What is a matter of respect, and once that respect is lost, generally speaking,
Yeah,
but the other side
Go
of
ahead.
it too. The other side of it too is that sometimes, and you ladies feel free to chime in on this, if you feel that the respect isn't given, then automatically you're already tuned out and defensive when the individual is speaking to
That's
you.
true, and this is going to be a great topic to touch on.
No. We're going to finish this right now. Because
Let's keep this.
Because we're almost on our time, so I'm just
Saved by the
saying.
bell.
I'm just
Ding, ding,
saying.
ding.
I know I had some things coming up real quick. This Saturday I'm going to be performing at the Black Vegan Expo.
All right.
It's an awesome thing run by Royalty
this Saturday?
Vegans. All right. It's going to be it's $25 for tickets, and you're getting a free oxtail platter with.
that's a very
$25.
feminine dinner.
Well, listen.
I'm not sucking no
What about
oxtail.
vegetarian?
But there's other stuff too
It's
that's gonna be
vegan.
there.
It's vegan,
But
though.
listen, it's the Black Vegan Expo. I'm gonna be performing. There's gonna be other dope performers there as well, and vendors. And then also BigScott.com. Go there, get your tickets for the New Jersey Battleship performance.
Yeah, those are
That joint is gonna be fire. I'm gonna be sharing the stage with the amazing Masha T.
What is that
and
again?
is the New Jersey Battleship event.
It's like the cruise on.
It's an all-white affair.
Yep.
It's on
He
the
always
riverfront,
has
And,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yes, and
Is
it's
this
going to be
Saturday?
beautiful.
They've been doing
It's-
that for years.
That is going to
too.
be July 17th. That is a Saturday.
Oh, man, I'm
So,
not
yeah.
gonna be here.
I know, right? You gonna be on vacation?
I was
Kissimmee.
Yeah, I was always want to go to one of his events. Big Scott always got some nice events going.
Yeah.
on.
I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna end it on this, right? I totally agree with you guys are saying as far as when the respect is not there, as far as the authority, right? But at the same time, what I was going to say is that everybody don't have the same definition of respect, and a lot of times when it comes to women, and especially when they're dealing with men, just because a man is sought after by a lot of women, some women feel as though that's disrespect to them, whereas though we should be able to do something about the women that we attract.
It's the same. I got the same thing from my, like, that doesn't make any sense because I got the exact same thing from my ex.
Same here.
You know, saying, "Oh, well, you should tell them not to, you know, be to like you." And I'm like, "How?" I
Well,
don't
no,
have
it's not
control
like
over-
it's not like to
you
tell them
know,
not to like you, right? But when you entertain it. So you can have somebody, you can have a lot of
Yeah, that's
women
what I'm
or
saying.
men
That's
that
what I'm
like
saying,
you.
but
But if
I
you
was-
don't entertain
I
it,
was
then it's
saying
not
I was-
on you.
But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Wasn't entertaining it, but because of the simple fact, because I didn't just say stop. I just didn't respond. But because my silence, he was like, that speaks more than you telling them to stop. And I'm like,
It does, but I think it
I'm
speaks
like,
in
but
a
if I'm
positive
ignoring
direction.
them,
Like if you're
and-
ignoring it and you're not saying nothing to them, not even hearting anything or liking anything that they, or just deleting them off of your social media because that's
But
just
you know what?
access.
That's
I mean,
an
even
example,
I'm not even
'cause that's
I'm
disrespect.
I'm not a singer like that, but I had the same thing with my ex. He was like, "Yo, all these guys come in your direction." I'm like, I dress nice when I go out somewhere. I'm going to get the attention.
You're supposed to be attractive.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how I got your attention, did I not? So I'm not going to make myself look
Yeah, I was
ugly for
getting
your
it a lot,
benefit.
too.
And it sounds
So
like...
that's just, I
However,
think that's
there
just
is-
jealousy
It's
because a
jealousy
lot of
and
times,
fragility.
It's not jealousy. It's the activity of what you call a mature male and not a man. You're dealing with a person is dealing with an emotional
Right.
activity of thought rather than a logical activity of thought.
And this
that
is exactly
emotional
what I was
activity of
talking
thought
about.
Creates an activity of
when
insecurity. And that's
you
why
make
he addressed it in
decisions
that way.
based on a temporary emotion,
right.
right? And instead of a lifelong experience. You know what I'm saying? So if you're just like, oh, I like this right now, but you may not like it tomorrow. But if you make a life decision on that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to affect you forever.
Right.
And a lot of times it's like, that's kind of what happens.
And there's rules to the game. See, just like we speak about the men having a concern, the respect to the man, I can only speak from my experience, study, and knowledge. And as a black man, this is specifically only to us because it doesn't happen in other ethnicities, nationalities, and groups amongst us.
Why you say that though?
It doesn't because I've already studied it. And I'll show you clearly with a
So
statement.
their women respect them more than our women respect us?
Their women see them as men and not just males. Our women look at us as boys from the time you're young to the time you're older. And when you get in a debate or argument,
Yeah,
or
I've
discussion
definitely had to
with a
shut
black
some women
woman-
down for
with-
still using
with
the
a
word
black
boy when
woman,
you're speaking to me.
or just speak with you.
Yeah,
just speak
don't
with
call
you.
me no
Boy.
boy.
No, I'm just
Boy,
saying.
y'all
I
say
never,
that.
I never,
Not just that,
I
not
don't
just that,
call
not just that.
men boys.
Just speak to you in an authoritative manner. When in reality, when we look at reality, and I keep saying reality because society has you living in this fictional mindset of what's not real. So in reality, a black woman speaks to a black man with an authoritative tone that's condescending,
Yep.
challenging,
Yep.
aggressive, and often belittling. And sometimes it's for no purpose, just for the position. We call it her being.
They call
her,
it check.
Posturing.
or what
Yeah, they call it checking us,
Yeah,
and that's the tone that
exactly.
Yeah,
they
that
say.
don't work with me.
And
Yeah.
it don't work with you because as a man that have conditioned himself in a state of consciousness, you won't allow that to happen.
No.
You'll
Right.
be defensive towards it. But however, when you live in a world with males like those that you have that are emotionally formatted in their thinking, that works with them, and they either submit to it or rebel against it in beating that woman.
Because
See?
just for example, like men supposed to be attracted to my chick.
However, she's supposed to be modest enough to
Yeah.
be respectful to the
But I'm not.
relationship.
I'm going to let her
Yeah.
handle that though. I'm not
Right.
going to step in and be like, "Do this, say this."
Yeah, because now you come off as jealous
What I
and
mean,
threatened
what I mean is the
and
same thing raised on survival,
insecure.
raised on love. When she's rearing love, she's attracting you, right? So like Ross said, she's dressed a certain way to get you. But once she got you, now she got to deal with survival, which is protection of
No,
the
she
love.
still got to dress the same way she did to get me.
No.
I get what he's saying.
She already
Yeah, I
has
do.
you. Now there has to be a modesty to her dress to prevent another lion from hunting her, to prevent you to go to war.
Bro, do you
But
think that's
not-
going to stop?
Wait. Okay, so
Watch what I'm saying. Watch what
I'm trying to get what you're saying
Watch
because
what
I
I'm
don't
coming to.
see.
Okay.
Both of those men addressed why they responded in a certain encounter, rather than addressing the fact that she could have been more proactive in her position. Now, as my woman, by dressing somewhat more, you can have sexuality in your modesty of dress as well, rather than dressing as attractive,
Provocative.
as attractive as someone. You go hunting, right? A woman that's in heat releases a pheromone, a
Right.
scent,
Okay.
and that scent is picked up on males to mate with, because
Right.
she's attracting mates. But when she's not in heat, she keeps her tail covered, and she don't release that pheromone, and she's defensive to
She
the
wearing a
death.
black bonnet.
She's not, she don't wear a black bonnet, but she's defensive. She's defensive to the death. Like a black woman will dress a certain way, and when you compliment, I got a man. Hold
But
on.
they call
But
this.
that's what he wanted
But
me to
this
do.
what this
And
what
I'm
women.
saying I didn't do that.
Why do
What I
you
did-
why do you have a man, right? Why do you got a mate when you're dressing like you're looking for a mate?
No.
See?
That's
Wait a
that's
minute.
what.
No, I don't think that
that's
go- I don't think that go together.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think that when
No.
a woman puts on a certain dress, that she's looking to attract a certain
No, how about
reaction?
we do
Not
what he
necessarily.
Because what they're going to tell you
I'm
is
wearing
that
it for myself.
I'm wearing it for myself.
Then why you going
I'm painting
outside?
my
Then
fingernails
why
for
you going
myself.
outside? Why you going outside?
Because I have to go outside.
Wait. Time out. There's still a
competitive.
competitive factor.
Right, with other women.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on. And that competitive factor, there's a modesty in that dress. There's a way that a woman, I'm saying woman because we have a lot of females, and that
So
aren't
answer
women.
me
You know
this.
what's crazy?
Hold on.
'Cause
Let me.
They be wearing
Hold on.
sneakers and they be wearing
Wait.
sneakers
Let's see it. Let me
they
ask
be
you this
doing it to
though,
compete with
because
other
we do the
dudes
same
what they
thing,
wear
right?
on their
Like if
feet.
you notice, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, right? I don't wear a lot of attractive anything, right?
Right.
Because accessorizing is to attract the opposite sex, enhance
enhance your dress. However,
but not just your dress.
I'll
but
give a common example from a male standpoint. You won't see me in the joggers and the tighty whities and all of that stuff. You know why? Because I don't want to be showing off my print to other women. And I know that women look for, what's the gray sweatpants?
They look for that in anything. Suit pants,
No, hold on.
jeans.
Don't shake your heads like you don't know.
They look for that in everything, though,
sweatpants
bro.
Season, like it's, you know what sweatpants season is, right?
Know what?
I know what it is, but I'm not
there,
looking for.
then
I'm not.
Y'all looking. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to that
See,
bullshit.
look,
See, this is what I mean.
No day.
This is what I'm talking about right now.
See, this is my point. This is
Right.
my point.
They gonna do that. They gonna do that.
This is my point right here.
I
They
think it
know
goes
for a
with
fact.
age because I done had it.
You done looked at a dick
I done-
print.
No, not
listen,
A, not
I
A.
done
What
had
about
it.
their woman? What about their
It's-
man out
listen.
with them with the sweatpants on? See, I specifically
But
wear
when, that has
3
never been a
layers.
thing though until recently.
No, that's
Social
Women didn't
media,
give a fuck
social
about that.
media.
Oh, no.
Well,
Hold
y'all
on.
pants
Hold
are
on.
getting tighter and
Were
tighter.
men dressing like
Skinny
that?
jeans.
Skinny jeans.
Men
Why we
men
wear skinny
wasn't
jeans?
dressing
What we
like that.
But this we're talking about the sweatpants specifically.
That's what I'm,
not the tight,
have
not
you
the tight
seen,
jeans.
Have you seen the sweatpants, the joggers? The joggers are like leotards. They're like.
Well, if
they're
you got
like
the
whole-
baby arm, you can wear some baggy jeans, and that shit's still going to.
But that's my point. That's my point. When you got the baby arm, you, like I said, you have to be mindful.
I'm not thinking about that.
Hold on. You have to be mindful, right? All right, you got to tuck and walk when you got the baby on. Now, so if men know what I'm talking about to do, and those that don't,
They don't.
You got to be able to sit on yours in order to know what I'm talking about. So, but you put it in a certain way. You put it in a certain way where you know I don't wear boxers, bro. I don't wear boxers on purpose. You know why? Because I don't want nothing hanging out on the side, and
Right.
you know what happens with boxers. And I don't want no woman looking at me. If
I'm gonna keep it a bean. I wear boxer briefs.
I wear boxer briefs, and guess what boxer
Yeah.
briefs do?
They keep everything
Fruit of Loomer
That's right.
Hayes. Which one?
keep everything with blah. I can't. You just
Right where it's
can't be.
supposed to be.
You just can't be bell bottom and like bong bong.
That's right. But, all right, watch this. Watch this. You wear boxer briefs because it's like a woman wearing a bra.
Basically,
See why women wear bras?
Because we ain't free boobing like that.
free boobing.
What's free boobing? What's free boobing? What's free?
That's a new word. Shimon.
That's mine. I made it up.
Shimon.
So the next thing they come closest to that is showing cleavage, and then you got the push-up bras that pronounce your boobs. Now,
See, but here's my thing. Why does that even turn men on?
well, first of all,
They titties.
No,
They baby bottles.
It's called
fun bags.
It's called the tease. It's called the tease. well, boobs is a part of sex. Like
I don't know why, but that just made me think of Dave Chappelle when he was talking about some.
Come
he's like,
on,
she's
titty.
looking good. She's looking good. I mean, breasts popping up out of the top of her turtleneck,
If they popping up out of a turtleneck,
ass hanging out of the skirt, like. And I walked past and I was like, "Damn, look at them titties."
damn, look at them.
them titties.
He was like, "Listen,
Sorry.
he's like, I'm not a hoe." He said, "What?" He said, "Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a hoe." He was like, "Well, it looks like you wearing a whore uniform."
Well, yeah, the hoe does have a
That's
uniform.
my point. If you're dressed, like I said, if you're dressed in a way to attract a man, see, it's one way to dress competitively.
Listen,
It's
I'm not
another
gonna
way
lie.
To dress to attract people, and if you're attracting
My
somebody,
daughters
I
at a certain
attract
age,
men and
they
I
couldn't
be
have a heel on their
dressing bummy.
shoe.
Yes.
Why not?
No,
Yes.
no nail
Why not?
polish.
I mean,
Like
I
I don't
mean-
give a fuck about you bonding with mommy and all that shit. No nail polish on my daughters. No heel with a shoe. No fucking shimmering lip gloss. Like my daughters. I ain't play none of that shit.
I mean, like,
None of that. Oh, she's gonna be a girl. Yeah, she's gonna be a girl when the fuck she's 30. I don't give a fuck.
right? Because,
No,
because
like-
Not in here.
you're preparing her to be attracting
Attracting men.
something that one she's not prepared for, that shouldn't be interacting with, and another someone that that has pure ill intent. See, when you want a man to like and love you for who you are, don't hold that man to that when you've dressed up like got your get him girl dress on, and you give him all of those things that sexually attract him. Now he's sexually attracted and he goes on a hunt. See, the reason men compete is because we show our
I'ma
spears,
just send a scuzzy
our
missile at
muscles,
your face.
our shields, we show all of our proudness in competition because our job is to compete.
Which is
for
like,
the
I'm
hunt.
not gonna lie. I don't need no clothes
Right.
or reveal this.
I went,
Sometimes all I need
I went to
is
South
I
Street
ain't,
one
I ain't,
time.
I ain't even
I
got
went to
no
South-
makeup on, so
I went to South Street.
You should put something on today. It's like,
Wow.
And the black women,
Says
no, that was payback. That was payback. That was payback.
I just say he scared me with his
had
face
regular
early. He
flip-flops on,
still
a tank
getting
top,
at
and I
me
had
for it.
regular just clam diggers on. For sure. And I wasn't trying to attract nobody.
You had a
I
clam dress on.
clam diggers, you know.
Clam
They
diggers.
call them, yeah.
Yeah.
What is clam diggers? Yeah, they call it halfway. Okay, capri pants, whatever you
Oh,
want to call 'em.
capris. Okay, I heard
Different names.
capris.
But anyway, I was just dressed like that because I was going to South Street just to walk around and get some ice cream with Beth. Right? She had her first time on South Street. I had to leave South Street.
I don't know who Beth is.
I'm not one of my mutual friends.
but that's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
A black woman is naturally built.
But listen, I
Naturally
wasn't trying
attractive.
to attract nobody. I wasn't trying to get nobody. I was just there
You
chilling.
fired.
I had to leave South Street because I was being bothered so damn much.
Yes.
And
I mean,
that
I wasn't
grabbing
trying
stuff.
to. I wasn't
gots
trying to
to
attract
go.
nobody.
Yeah,
See, that's
Okay.
all
Regular
male
casual.
stuff. That's
That's
all
not-
male
that's
stuff.
not
right,
What
That don't mean they men.
What do a man
I didn't say it
do?
was.
Just
What
because
do a
they
man
males
do?
don't mean they men.
I didn't say it was.
The first thing a man does when interacting with you is that he asks permission.
Hootie hoo! What's
See,
up?
That's sharing the
Cat call.
authority, and that's what a woman should look for a man not to take charge or to be dominated,
Right.
but for a man to introduce himself, sharing the authority. And when he does that, it
What did I
shouldn't
tell
be
you
an
earlier?
absence of respect.
honestly, I can't remember.
About manipulation, because you were looking at manipulation from a negative point where
And
You
that's
keep
not what the
saying
word
it. I
means.
was
No.
just
Yeah.
saying.
The word manipulate.
We were having a
Right.
conversation.
Means to
You
fashion.
took it that way, but you gotta let somebody get their full thought out first.
okay.
But definitely, you was talking about manipulation and everything like that, and I was trying to understand where you were coming from, so I threw out that. So stop saying I was looking at it in a negative light, because I was just trying to understand where you was coming from.
I got you.
Okay.
You know, and
Cardi,
All right, Cardi L. Bacardi.
There you go.
No, like, men manipulate women and women manipulate men. But sometimes, the manipulation, like Ja was saying, can be negative or positive. If you can manipulate somebody to thinking that it's just like the participation trophies. That's manipulation.
So-
Nigga, you lost.
So wait a minute, so it's
You're
planting
lost.
the seed in somebody's head about something and ideas
To make them
manipulation.
think that they're better or bigger than what they are. Like
Okay.
a woman can make. It's just like when y'all fake orgasms.
Like
Every
flattery.
activity is
Oh my
instruction.
God.
Like if
But
you fake an
teaching
orgasm
is
and make a nigga think he got the baby arm, that
Right.
might be negative manipulation.
that's
Negative
deceptive.
reinforcement.
That's
Yeah.
deceptive.
You got to put a nigga closer and boo in his ear.
She used the word in so many fashions. It's just that as a euphemism, it got this bad stigma.
Right.
But to manipulate, you manipulate when you're giving massage
Right.
motions, or you manipulate when you're giving a stroke internally when you're in a woman. See, it's all about it's called.
I'm gonna tell you
it's
some
called
shit.
painting the wall properly
Yeah,
with the
when
paintbrush.
when I'm writing graffiti on them walls, I'm gonna tell you something.
Now, some niggas got spray cans and they ain't got a paintbrush.
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook.
Like when I'm like,
I just make a paradigm shift and compare the bot.
yeah.
You already know.
But yo, that is kind of
right
like we went completely overboard tonight, but
Yeah.
it was
Off
we
the deep
y'all
end.
deserved it. We needed to give y'all a little bit extra. We wasn't here last week, so we gave y'all a little extra this week. I think everybody got their points across at this time
Yes.
without anyone being abruptly interrupted. So we're going to.
Well,
We're gonna go around the room one time and everybody drop those IGs real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's start off with you.
Oh, my IG is KS Legacy Building LLC, right on IG.
commotion _ rhyme book QMOSHYN _ rhyme book.
Jock the Rock _ Jock Kim. You already know. Southside Bibby coming next.
My IG has a first name. It's MON. It's like, no.
How you gonna fit that in there? Well,
No, Montana Black, MONTANA 3LAK. All right. At on Instagram.
Lovely Lady 7173. That's LOVELY Lady 7173.
All right, so make sure y'all check us out. Follow us on Instagram. Also, hit up that Union 215 Instagram at UNIONTWOFIFTEEN on Instagram.
Go ahead.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah, follow us. Make sure y'all stay up to date with the Philly Jam concert. Make sure y'all stay up to date on everybody's Instagram that's going on, and be sure to hit up Q Motion Rhyme Book _ Rhyme Book on Thursday to get the afterthought of today's episode of UNI on Society. And we are out of here. We'll catch y'all next Monday.